Hello, everybody. Today is July 14th, and welcome to the MSP Initiative Live. It is summertime, right? Everybody's still on vacation mode. Nobody's doing work. And yeah, sitting back on the beach doing MSP Initiative Live. Maybe not. Maybe some people are, but most people not. Let's go through some housekeeping. And then we'll go through some current events. Lots of stuff happening in the world. A lot of it surrounding technology. MSPinitiative.com. Here you'll find everything about us, including sessions, which is video and podcast versions of these sessions that are posted all the way from when we started in March 2020 until now. Be posting some news on our giveaways finally for 2022. Stay tuned. We have 3 MSP community block parties planned for this year. We're just about to announce information on those and post them here on the community block party here on mspinitiative.com. Stay tuned. I promise it's exciting stuff. We've been working hard all year on this. And lastly, Channel Strong Tour. We're actually on one right now here in the Northeast. I think they're in Albany today, and they're in White Plains, New York tomorrow. And then we still have a few left in the books, weeks 6, 7, and 8 on this year's tours. Looks like we're doing Denver, Oklahoma City, Kansas City, St. Louis in September. October looks like Vegas, Phoenix, San Diego, Irvine. And then in November, late November, going in the first week of December, where, Florida's warm, Fort Lauderdale, Tampa, Orlando, and Atlanta. So if you're in any one of these areas, or you happen to be in Albany or White Plains today and tomorrow, definitely come out. If you're an MSP, we'd love to see you. And that is the housekeeping items. So no special speaker today. We're just gonna go through some current events, and then I'll actually be out on the road. I'll be in White Plains tomorrow for the last stop of this Channel Strong tour, and then we'll bump into next week, right? Tuesdays, Thursdays, 1 o'clock Eastern time. So here's my list of things, cool and interesting things that I thought were intriguing this week. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen, and we will talk about them. Again, anybody that jumps on live, you'll be able to jump in. Feel free to unmute. First one. Well, I guess there was Prime Day, one of 2 this year, 300 million items. When my buddy Darren pops on here, likes to frequent the show. Apparently he was one of those heavy buyers on Prime Day. But Amazon Prime, it's like, they create the sale to push all those discounts through. I hope everybody got what they were looking for. Apparently had to dig a little bit more this year, I'm told, but they had some good stuff. Anywhere from razors to LCD screens to you name it. So hope everybody got their share of Prime Day, and hopefully got some good stuff. I didn't buy anything, just gonna be honest. All right, next one here is Microsoft will sell you a $60 t-shirt with the Windows XP background on it. I mean, I'm sure somebody else on the internet is selling exactly this, but apparently you can overpay Microsoft for this. Either, what is this? MS Paint, Windows XP, Windows 95, Minesweeper. So Sade says, I got someone cool glasses that could play music and use Siri without anyone else hearing them. Pretty cool. All right, look at you, Miss Prime buyer. Hopefully that person enjoys their Google Glass knockoff, it sounds like. But anyway, yeah, feel free to use some Microsoft dollars to buy their new hardware clothing collection. I don't know why Microsoft felt they needed to get into the clothing business, but here we go. It's a 9-piece collection. Hats, shirts, jackets, sweats. It's like the cool thing to do to have your own clothing line these days. So fantastic. Next. So, of course, in order to get this new feature that we're about to talk about, you're gonna have to upgrade your phone. It's still in beta, this next version of iOS. And by the way, of course, every time you update your phone, it gets slower, right? They force you into buying another phone. But we'll put all that stuff aside. So iOS 16, apparently the lock screen is going to become a lot more usable. So I'm an iPhone guy, not an Android guy, but I know we've covered that before. But effectively, you'll be able to customize your lock screen with all sorts of widgets, news, and not just push notifications. So lot coming here. I know apparently Android's had all of these functionality. I know. But hey, I just want my phone to work, and iPhone for me. So iOS 16 is coming out, later on this year. I would assume it'll be announced close to September when the iPhone 14 models are announced. The next iteration of all of the iOS, iPhone, and all things inside. So expect, this is in beta right now. I know you can download iOS 16 now in beta. I know we're technology people on this side of the fence, but hey, if you want your phone to work, just hang out a little bit longer. Let all the people guinea pig this. But check out this cool stuff you'll be able to do on your lock screen, without having to open up your phone. For people who don't have the smart watches like me, I'll definitely utilize that stuff. This one is a little bit scary. So Microsoft, that's right, big M and not McDonald's, says that a lot of phishing campaigns were able to bypass MFA. That's right, you heard it. 10,000 organizations have had a compromise on Microsoft 365, Azure, etc., where the bad guy was able to get past MFA. That's horrible news. That's horrible news. There's another article I don't even have in my list where insurance companies, including, I forget the guy who started it, the company started it, basically they're denying claims because you didn't have MFA turned on. Well, if you had the MFA turned on and they still got through, is your claim okay? That's very, very, very worrisome. But effectively, these guys were able to steal and intercept the target password and session cookie, which already had their authenticated, they've already gotten through the MFA, and then use that to, get through the rest. So not good. Not happy to hear this news. I know everybody's been heard about MFA forever, and now is it even working? I would say that this is definitely room for concern. Now, did they bypass just Microsoft MFA? What if you're using a third-party MFA solution, like maybe something like a Duo or something like that, Okta, whatever? But yeah, super concerning. 10,000 organizations. Look it up. Bypass MFA, phishing campaign, not good. Of course, it still comes down to the user to get, fooled by the phishing campaign, right? They got to click on something, enter their password into what probably looks like a legitimate session. Then their MFA probably gets triggered. They say yes. And then the bad guy has captured that session, and then they do bad things. So not great news. It's July 13th, so a little bit less than the 4th of July or past 4th of July, but not great news. And this is like a backup article, just in case you didn't believe the first one. The big fish can swim around MFA. Give it to the UK guys. They always come up with great headlines. But more, across the pond, saying the same thing. Basically, the bad guys were able to steal that session token and basically convince people to get in there. In the background, they were able to get into your account, and bada bing, bada boom. So I guess know before, right? One of the guys that helps with educating the masses and letting them know not to click on things, of course, in all these articles. So training, or just remove the bad part of the link, right? Take the human being out of the mix and you won't have a problem anymore. Sure, that's a little bit hard to do. Interestingly enough, yesterday, Microsoft released zero-day security patches, 84 new security flaws. I know, not quite Patch Tuesday. I guess it was Patch Wednesday. But this looks like, going to have to speed this one out there and go ahead and prove that in all your RMMs, because there's some good stuff here. And you can dig into all the CVEs, but there's a bunch. And in addition to Microsoft security patches, all 84 of them, there are other vendors this month that have released patches for themselves. And you can see quite a list there, right? Adobe, AMD, all the way down to VMware and everywhere in between, including Dell, Lenovo, HP. Basically, Qualcomm, who makes all the mobile modems for all the smartphones. It's like all the big guys here, right? Cisco, networking equipment, Citrix. Patch, guys. I know, totally frustrating. Why doesn't it just work and stay working without all of your efforts? But here we go. The next one I thought was interesting, and you don't think of Honda as a concern from hey, can you hack your car? But apparently Honda key fobs were found vulnerable by hackers. I wonder how many Teslas have been hacked. You ever ask yourself that question? Totally, like, when I went to go check out cars, they're like, oh, we have this new thing. Your phone can now be your key fob, right? That's like the new thing for like all the non-Tesla cars out there, which I thought was a little bit interesting. But like, hey, if the common everyday key fob, that you'll get with your non-smart car can be jammed. I can only, this kind of reminds me of like, was it Gone in 60 Seconds with this? It looked almost like this, right? Where they kind of just hung out, wait for the lady to press the garage door button and then got the signal. So kind of looks like that. But yeah, apparently they used a similar trick to capture the remote key signal when it's used. Obviously got to have the right gizmo and be in the right place, but here you go. 2012 Honda Civic, how did it make it into that list? It's quite a gap there, but 2020, 2020, 2020, 2021. So, and then they said the 2022 and 2023 models have a different system, new and improved. So if you know anyone with these cars, either go freak them out or give them a heads up that there might be a problem. And, I would assume that there's going to have to be some sort of fix. I don't know what that's going to be, but it's definitely concerning that you could probably buy this thing on Prime Day, start getting access to all of these Hondas out there. But yeah, the movies where they take over your control and drive it into a train and kill you remotely. Yeah, I mean, not quite that, but here we go. People are getting jammed. Okay, so in the next version of iOS, remember, not quite out yet, going to be there around September, you'll finally be able to edit and undo sent messages from your iPhone. Don't you wish emails actually work this way? Like the recalls, like, who cares? But like you can actually edit and undo sent messages. I believe this only works for other people with iOS. It could be wrong because I don't think if it's just a regular. Yeah, I was right. These messages only apply to iMessage, SMS, which is the green bubble, cannot be edited or unsent, right? So that's kind of like email. But iMessage, you can like go and like, oh, didn't mean to say that. Whoop, erase, and then or edit, which is, can only imagine how many people would be in a better position if this feature had been out already. But yeah, this is how it's going to work, right? Undo, send, edit, right? And then it actually goes through and we'll edit it, not just on your phone, but the actual receiver's phone. So, yep, can't wait for iOS 16 so that I can like, not have to delay myself before I start typing messages. Although I suggest that everybody does that. Think twice before you hit that send button. Back to security news. New Android malware on Google Play installed 3 million times. That's right. Didn't come pre-installed on your Android phone, but you downloaded it from the Google Play Store. That's not good. So, hey, I'm sure Apple's not totally immune, but Android's a little bit more open. And, when you start downloading apps that you're not, you don't want, then like these, because they're free, may be coming along with bad things. Kind of funny that Apple earlier this week, we talked about it, maybe not this week, last week, that lock mode, right? This new security lock mode that's coming, which kind of like limits what the phone can do from, even third parties, even built-in Apple tools. So of course, Android, right? A little bit more open to just think twice before you download the free app. That's all I'm going to say. It's kind of like think twice before you click on the link in the email, and think twice before you put your email, your username and password in. Yeah, not good. I'm sure people don't want people don't want their stuff hacked, but then again, there's a lot of people on TikTok and they're just freely giving their stuff away. I know one right off the top of my head. Moving along. So this is a little bit worrisome. This is going to happen. 100 basis points hike in July. We were kind of, as the mass is told that expect a 0.75% increase in interest rates every month between now and the end of the year, right? So if the interest rates, I don't know, let's call it 3%. I know it's not, but let's say it's 3, and 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9% potentially by the end of the year. Yeah, it's happening. It's not 0.75 now, it's a whole point. That's what they mean by 100 basis points, which means that it's going to get more expensive to borrow money, more expensive to finance stuff, and more expensive to get, the stuff that you need, right? So does that lend to subscription and cloud-based services? Or, of course, there's still hardware and you can't buy everything on Prime Day. There's only 1 or 2 a year. So this is going to make things more expensive. This is going to cost people more. Their lines of credits are going to go up. Their lending power is going to go down. How does this affect the tech industry? Well, not just for your businesses, it could be, for your person too, right? You're buying cars, you're buying houses. You may want to think twice now because it's getting a little pricey out there. But yeah, 100 basis points, which I think we already talked about this a few weeks ago. As interest continues to go up and as the stock market continues to perform, not as well, all of the companies who are, backed by third-party outside, financiers, whether it be PE, VC, straight up bank loans, whatever, going to start to tighten up. And I bet a bunch of people are going to default on things, and I bet a bunch of people are not going to be able to get credit for things. And I get it's going to also slow down hiring and job increases and and all the other stuff that comes along with that. So this is not great news, but it is here. So by the end of the month, I mean we're middle of the month right now. By the end of July, you're going to see this probably affect anywhere where you look for lending rates. Keep your eyes out, which includes financing rates, which include leasing rates, and all that other good stuff. There we go. Thought this was interesting. $4 billion Panasonic battery factory coming into Kansas. Well, I can't imagine that's going to be entirely. Oh, Lisa, what you got for me here? Consumer prices jumped sharply again in June. Oh, I'm locked out.
Look at the chart, though. Look at the chart on that thing. It's crazy.
Let me refresh and see if I can get there.
Look at that.
Oh, baby. I missed it. Let me do it one more time. Let me see if I can screenshot it. Print screen. Now I'm going to go and paste it. Gotcha, New York Times. Oh, yeah. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. So that's not good. I mean, it wasn't good. Look at this back in 1970s, back when people were standing in line for gas. Look at this. It's not looking good. I know I don't need to say that, but it's not looking good. And that bothers me because I feel like we don't need to be here. But before I go off the chart, keep going. So anyway, $4 billion factory coming to Kansas, probably bring some jobs, by the way. Oh yeah, right here, 8,000 of them. So that's good news for the good people of Kansas. But clearly the electric cars are coming. Problem is that it's still not really perfected yet. And an average electric car is almost $50,000. How's going to afford them? But yeah, there it is. Looks like the electric car arrow is only pointing up, not down. This makes sense. Good job, I guess, Panasonic. And if you need a job and you're in Kansas, go and put your resume in because I think they're going to need you. This one was interesting. Who's had Netflix forever? Me and probably everybody else out there. By the way, I posted this on Facebook yesterday. It was from, I forget what the channel was, but it was I don't need Netflix. I'm from Philly. I already see Stranger Things. Anyway, so apparently Netflix is now going to be doing commercials. I thought that's why we paid the premium to not get the commercials. Oh, well, Microsoft wins that ad deal, edging out Comcast and Google, which means that your ads are going to be coming from Microsoft. And they're going to be in the middle of your shows, which means it's going to take you longer to binge watch. Although they say that they'll start this on a lower tier. So I guess it'll slowly get to the people that are paying the premium. But I didn't even know Microsoft purchased the division of AT&T, but bottom line is commercials are coming to you. Thank you, Microsoft. I guess thank you, Netflix. Fantastic. Okay. So Google has slowed down their hiring. Surprise, surprise. Of course, they put this clip in the middle of the article from the New York Post. Not looking good. Comes back to a little bit of what Lisa's chart was. Funny that she had the Times and I had the Post. But apparently this is going to become Hunger Games. And, if you don't work harder, then you can work somewhere else. It's basically the message. So the economy does not stop for big tech. They're going to get hit just like everyone else. And so Google's message is work harder with more hunger, or work somewhere else. Kind of echoes Elon, right? When he basically told the Tesla employees, if you don't come back to work, don't work here. Okay, well, didn't expect that for a Google HR headline, but there you go. I thought this was just wow. So I mentioned as like a life hack a couple weeks ago, using air tags to track your bags instead of the airline system. Well, this probably would have helped out in this case, because Delta flew an entire plane back from London's airport with 1,000 stranded bags. 1,000. Funny enough, the London airport also went to all the airlines and said, we're only going to have so many passengers per day, and basically start canceling flights. So not good. Here you go. They notate that in this article, capacity of 100,000 passengers daily. And if you can't handle it, cut them off. So this is the result. Could you imagine? I always joke, on a trip without your luggage. Yeah, this one is for real. Not good. Not good. A whole plane. Forget seats, just bags. Wonderful. And Delta. I know we have some Delta fans here on my side. Some quick, Sandbox news, I like to call it. Bitdefender launches MDR Foundation service. It's interesting because Bitdefender is available through just about everybody, through all the big boys. I don't know how this affects those offerings, or whether it's a direct offering versus not. Well, they're referencing PAX 8, so it's definitely available there. But looks like a new service. Basically, there looks like an MDR Lite versus 3 MDR offerings. There's like an MDR Lite, MDR Premium, MDR Enterprise. Pick your poison. How much do you want to spend? Ads, IP protection, dark web monitoring, threat monitoring. Seems like everybody's kind of like popping all these features into all of their services. I know WebRoot and Blackpoint just announced an MDR package jointly. So didn't pop that link in, but I passed it earlier. So that's another one out there. I guess Enable pre-packaged some of their stuff together into a new bundled offering. Nsight, cute name. Comes with enables RMM, take control remote access, this MSP manager, which I agree. I've always thought was just a light ticketing system, but I guess they're calling it a PSA now. Oh, so added some features, added some orchestration. I don't know if you're really in the market for a move, but I guess take a look, because new offering over there from Enable. Atera, another one, integrates with Malwarebytes, is what I'm talking about, right? Like all the security vendors now offering through the platform guys. So this, Malwarebytes been out there for some time. Guess it came out with this kind of multi-management system finally. Fantastic. Another one out there to take a look at. Last two, Big T, Twitter. Yup, got knocked offline. Ironic, right? Elon pulls his deal. There's now Twitter sues Elon, and now they go down for their longest outage ever in company history. Interesting, ironic, coincidental? I don't know. But it's funny that I didn't even read all this article, and they announced all of that here. So I have my facts straight. But I guess if you're a Twitter person, it was down for a pretty good while this morning, but came back online and hour down globally. And then lastly, and I will leave you with this, Intel is going to hike their processor chip pricing tremendously, as much as 20%. So you know what that means. Your computer, laptop, small microcomputers, chip, they're all going to go up. It's all going to go up by a huge margin here, guys. So if we thought it was bad already on the supply chain side, this chip shortage, right? I thought Intel announced they were this, they did. They announced they just started they were building this new factory in Ohio. I know because we were there on the Channel Strong tour and they were talking about all these people lining up for jobs for this new Ohio Intel chip factory. But I guess it didn't come fast enough because they're about to rise on the price, guys, 20%. So let's say if a CPU costs, I don't know, $300, 20% of 300. Yeah, you're going to probably be adding 10 to 15% on the computer price because, those guys will just raise their prices too, my guess. So not good. I don't know how, we need to start building more factories faster, start making these chips here. The good old United States of America. Remember it used to be made in the USA? I remember that. So I'm going to give you a half hour back. That is the news of the day. Next week, we're back with some good guest speakers on. Be on the Channel Strong tour. We'll have some good feedback from this week on the road. I'm sure there's already some good stories. And yeah, guys, thanks for jumping on. Tuesdays, Thursdays, 1 o'clock Eastern. See you next time. Bye.